Hello students, welcome back to the 7th lecture on classification and tabulation. In the previous class, we have solved examples on classification. Today, we are going to start tabulation. First, we will see the definition of tabulation. The process of systematic arrangement of the classified data in rows and columns in the form of a table are called tabulation. A process of systematic arrangement of the classified data in rows and columns in the form of a table are called tabulation. Then the objectives of classification. The first objective is it simplifies the complex data, or it simplifies the complexity of the data. Then second objective is to facilitate comparison. Tabulation facilitate comparison. The next objective is to give an identity to the data. Means if more than one table is there, we can give table numbers to the different tables. So it gives identity to the data. Next objective is to reveal the trend and tendencies of the data. If the tabular form of data is there, then we can easily reveal the trend and tendencies of the data. And the last objective is for diagrammatic and graphical representation, a tabulated data is essential. One more objective is there, it facilitates computation of various statistical measures like averages, dispersion, correlation, etc. If tabulated data is there, then easily we can use some statistical tools, or we can calculate some statistical inferences like averages, dispersion, correlation, etc. The next concept we have to study here is parts of a table, and we have the first part of a table is table number. A number should be given to each and every table in order to distinguish and also for easy reference. Usually the table number is written at the right hand corner at the top of the table. Then the second part of a table is title of the table. A title should be given to the table. The title should indicate, in short, the content of the table, which will be written at the top in bold letters. Then the next part of a table is head note. It is a brief explanatory note or statement given just below the heading of the table, put in a bracket. The statistical units of measurements such as in thousand rupees, millions, million tons, crores, kilograms, etc. These we have to write as a head note or subtitle. The next is captions. Column headings are called as captions. They explain what the column represents, what are the content in the columns. Captions are always written in one or two words on the top of each column. Then the next part of a table is stubs. Stubs are also called as row heading. They explain what the row represents. Stubs are usually written in one or two words at the left extreme side of each row. The next part of a table is body of the table, which is very important. The body of the table contains numerical data. The table should be well balanced, that is, length and breadth should have appropriate ratio in accordance to the size of the paper. The next part of a table is footnote. It is generally written below the table explaining in brief and precise, clarifying anything special referring to the table such as conclusions, remarks, inferences, omissions, additions, abbreviations, etc. that we have to write in form of the footnote. Then the last part of a table is sources. Below footnote or below the table, source of the data may be mentioned for verification of the reader. So these are the different parts of a table. Then we'll see what is the general format of a table. In a table, first we have to write at the top table number. If more than one table is there, then for easy reference we have to write the table number. Then comes the title, the brief introduction regarding the matter in the table we have to write in the form of table, and that we have to write with the bold letters. Then head note, all these part of a table we have seen already. Then here we have to write the stub headings or row headings. These are the stub headings or row headings. Every row we have to write the headings. Then these are the captions or column headings. Captions or column headings. Then this is nothing but body of the table. Means numerical data we have to write in the body of the table. Then here it is footnote and source note. We can write a source note below the footnote or beside the footnote we can write the source note. So this is the general format of a table. Then we'll see the rules of tabulation. A good statistical table is not only grouping of data into rows and columns but also summarizes the total information in an easy way with minimum possible space. Though there is no hard and fast rule for preparation of a table, yet a few general points should be kept in mind which are given below. So following points or rules we have to consider while framing the table. First point is size. The size of the table should be according to the size of the paper with more rows and columns. So according to the paper we have to make the size, we have to keep the size of the table. Then logical order. The stubs and captions should be arranged logically according to the alphabetical or chronological or geographical order. Some logical order must be there in the table. Then third point is the table should not be overloaded. The table should not be overloaded with number of characteristics. Rather than can we prepare the another table. We can prepare another table. We should not overload the information in one table. Then the table should be complete in all respects. We should not keep any hide and seek. The table should be complete in all the respects. Then no cell should be left blank in the table. No cell should be kept blank. Any row or column we should not keep blank. Either we put dash or write NA. It means not applicable. Then the next point we have to consider here is miscellaneous column can be provided for the presentation of ratios, percentages, etc. of the data. And the next point is ditto mark. This is the ditto mark should not be used as they may confuse with the row or column. The next point is footnote. It is used to explain omissions, any remarks regarding the numerical entries of the data in the table. Then the last point we have to consider here is source. the data obtained from publications, organizations, journals, etc. should be mentioned. So while drafting a table, we have to take care of all these points. Then there are different types of a table. First is simple or one-way table, then two-way table, and the last is manifold table. We'll see in detail. First we'll see simple or one-way table. If only one characteristic is represented in a table, then it is called simple or one-way table. For example, if the table consists of the information regarding only one characteristic, that is height of the students or weight of the students, etc., then it is simple or one-way table. Then another type of a table is two-way table. If two characteristics are represented in a table, then it is called two-way table. If you consider the height of the students and weight of the students in a single table, then we can say that it is a two-way table. Then the last type of a table is manifold table. If more than two characteristics are represented in a table, then it is called manifold table. If more than two characteristics are assigned in one table, then we can say that it is a manifold table. For example, in one table we are going to consider gender is one characteristic, occupation is another characteristic, and one more, residence, is another characteristic. So more than two are there, so we can say that it is a manifold table. So these are some points we have to consider in a tabulation. This is the theory part in the tabulation. Next class we will solve the examples on this tabulation. Thank you.